Welcome to Around Your Army. I'm Cynthia Salinas with the Army story here and around the world. This week, members of the 86th deploy to Iraq.
We probably have one of the hardest jobs in the military because we don't train for our job every day. We do it. Whether we're in garrison or whether we're deployed, every day we do our mission.
Also ahead, making sure everyone has something under the tree. The shopping at Santa's Castle is underway. And later on Around Your Army, Montgomery Gentry stops by Fort Benning.
Any opportunity we can get by to say hello to the men and women who keep us free and serve for our country and give us our freedom to get up and play music, we're about it and ready to shake a hand in a heartbeat.
Now to our top story. Some 30 members of the 86th Military Police Criminal Investigation Division deployed to Iraq this month. Goodbyes to family and friends were shared ahead of the soldiers' year-long mission in Iraq, which includes investigating felony crimes in the Baghdad area. This is the first time the 86th Military Police CID has deployed to the region.
A lot of time and energy was put behind it. And just going through the training itself involved some extra stuff that a lot of people that are going through training right now don't get. We went through combatives, we went through advanced marksmanship training, because we all shoot regularly because we are required to carry a weapon every day. But this was additional training, doing some close combat shooting, doing some hand-to-hand training, hand-to-hand combat training. So I think my guys are ready to go.
The group is made up of reservist and active duty soldiers. Another important mission this month, the annual God Bless Fort Benning Day. God Bless Fort Benning organizers estimated between 15,000 and 20,000 people attended the day-long event held at the Columbus Civic Center. And some 250 soldiers took a break from basic training to make some free phone calls home and listen to a little live music and enjoy the support of the community. From the food to the rides to the entertainment, support for our soldiers was mixed with a pretty good time. But the event was about more than fun and food. The purpose is to let our military know that we love them and appreciate everything they do and everything their families do, said Kim Scofie, Director of Operations for God Bless Fort Benning Day. Columbus physician Jack Tidwell and his wife Eve founded the event 5 years ago. One of the highlights at the God Bless Fort Benning Day was Warrior One, an overhauled CNN Hummer. The vehicle was used in the news network's coverage of the Iraq War in 2003 and rolled into Baghdad. It was overhauled by the Learning Channel's Overhaulin' show and will be auctioned January 20th to benefit Fisher Houses. Fisher Houses provides temporary residence for families of patients receiving care at military medical centers. You can read more about God Bless Fort Benning Day in this week's edition of The Bayonet. Also in The Bayonet, taking steps to become the Maneuver Center of Excellence. The state of Georgia is making preparations to widen I-185 from 4 to 6 lanes from the St. Mary's Road exit to the Exit 1 interchange. And the Victory Drive I-185 interchange at Exit 1 will also be reconfigured to accommodate the Base Realignment and Closure Act of 2005. Finally, in The Bayonet, how much value do men and women place on talking? When it comes to talking about problems, men and women can take a vastly different approach. Family Life Center chaplain Richard Garvey shares his insight on the way men and women talk, and you can read about what he has to say and so much more in this week's edition of The Bayonet, free all-around post and online at thebayonet.com. On a post filled with places named for men who died decades ago defending this nation, this month McBride Elementary School students honored their namesake at the school's rededication ceremony. Captain Morris, or Maury to those that knew him, McBride, was posthumously awarded the Distinguished Service Cross after he was killed in Vietnam in 1964. Speeches, music, and a jump by the Command Exhibition Parachute Team were all part of the school's rededication 4 decades after it was named for the infantry captain. A retired colonel living in Columbus was a close friend of McBride's and spoke about his old buddy.
Maury was a very self-effacing guy. He didn't look on himself as anything unusual. I guarantee you that if his car were in that parking lot over there, there'd be a guitar in the trunk. And at the drop of a hat, he would get it and be happy to play for everyone.
The school on Custer Road was dedicated in January 1966, less than 2 years after McBride's death. McBride lived at Fort Benning as a child and returned here to attend Officers Basic Course, Ranger, and Airborne schools. The holiday shopping season is now in full swing, and as we head to the stores, we don't often remember those less fortunate. We don't even realize they may be here among us. That's why Santa's Castle is here to bring toys to the children of soldiers. Our Jennifer Gunn spends a little holiday time with Santa's elves.
Contrary to popular myth, Santa Claus doesn't vacation in the Bahamas. He makes his home away from the North Pole right here at Fort Benning, where he and his elves work year-round to bring toys to the children of soldiers. Santa's top elf this year explains why.
We wanted to have a venue where our soldiers' families would be able to have some assistance so that at Christmas time, under the tree, there are brand new quality toys that are nice, that they would be proud to share with their young people and their family.
And that's just what Santa's Castle is doing. But because of their relocation to the Garrison Activity Center earlier this year, the elves got a bit behind with their holiday preparations.
While this looks like a lot of toys, to give you perspective, if you look at just this small area here, this is just infant. The vast majority of the people who are typically serviced by the organization, many of them have small children. However, a lot of them also have older children. And if you look at some of our other shelves down there, a number of them are bare. And keep in mind, this is one of 2 other areas that will need to be full of toys before we start our year.
The castle boosts its inventory through toy drives and fundraisers. Then the elves shop the sales to stretch their dollars. The castle's goal is to stock enough toys to allow each child a main gift, 2 smaller gifts, and an assortment of stocking stuffers. Also, each family receives a game or activity.
It's a wonderful thing, but it's not meant to replace Toys R Us by any means. That's not productive. This is a growth opportunity for families so that they can stand on their own 2 feet.
So far, Santa's Castle has helped nearly 100 Fort Benning families with their holiday wishes, but they have more than 400 left to go. That's why Santa and his elves are counting on our generosity to help pull them through. Jennifer Gunn, USAC TV.
Santa's Castle is still in need of donations. They are looking for toys for children ages 8 through 12 and adolescents ages 13 through 18. And they especially need more bicycles. The castle also needs people to volunteer to be elves during shopping hours. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 9 to noon or 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And if you would like to make a donation or volunteer a few hours of your time, call the castle during those hours at 706-685-4422. Coming up on Around the Army, Montgomery Gentry drops by Fort Benning to meet soldiers and the fans.
Hey, we're Montgomery Gentry, and you're watching USAC TV.
Heard that.
I said you again. We're watching you. We're watching you. I got you.
Army Knowledge Online. Universally secure and open 24/7 around the world. AKO brings Army professionals, communities, systems, and applications together in one place. You can check email, instant message, or chat, access your pay information and other benefits, find people or publications and forums. Knowledge is power. Harness it at AKO. Army Knowledge Online.
$50 invested in a mutual fund 20 years ago returned $452. $50 in the United Negro College Fund returned an award-winning actor. A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Racial steering is illegal. If you think you've been a victim, call the National Fair Housing Alliance. We'll respond within 24 hours and help you take action.
Now, let's check out what's happening at Fort Benning for you. Join Boss Soldiers as they usher in the Christmas season with the dinner dance on Saturday, December 2nd at the Kelly Hill Recreation Center Ballroom, Building 9079. Doors open at 6 p.m. and dinner will be served at 7:30. Dress is formal and everyone is welcome. Cost is $25 per couple or $15 for singles. To purchase tickets or for more information, call Staff Sergeant Kimberly Price at 706-527-0414. The Commander's Cup Unit Level Basketball Preseason Tournament, sponsored by Mike Patton and Ranger Joe's, will be held on December 4th. There will be a coaches meeting for tournament and league play on November 28th at 1 p.m. at Gowdy Field. The season begins on January 8th. For more information, please call Willie Spann at 706-545-4592. Now, joining me to talk about all these things and much more is the new Morale, Welfare, and Recreation Marketing Director, Melissa Swanson. Melissa, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, I understand MWR is nothing new to you.
No, ma'am, it's not. I've been with MWR for about 10 years now, primarily at Fort Bliss, Texas, in El Paso. And I'm here to try to bring some of my ideas and kind of build upon the great program that we already have here. And I think with my experience and the great programs we have, I think we'll go far.
Now, you're here to talk about two events for the holidays. One is something free for our soldiers.
That's correct. On December the 6th from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., we're going to have 700 free Christmas trees for soldiers and their families. This is absolutely free to them. It's a service that we're passing on to the soldier from the Southeast Tree Growers, as well as FedEx, who are helping us graciously this year. They're going to be in the Meditation's parking lot on those days, limited supplies, so it's going to be on a first-come, first-served basis. And then they can come, I believe that's a Thursday, and they'll be available daily from 9 to 6.
So starting December 6th from 9 to 6, Meditation's parking lot, 700 trees are going to be given away, first come, first serve.
Absolutely.
Great. Now there's also another event that's happening at Riverside.
Yes, ma'am. We have Santa paying us a visit in Fort Benning, Georgia. He's going to be at Riverside, which is the Commanding General's residence, and he's going to be there December the 13th from 6 to 8 p.m. He'll be available for photos with the kids, and there's also going to be some refreshments and some children activities. We have some stilt walkers coming out to help us celebrate, so that should be fun for everyone.
Great. Melissa, thank you so much for stopping by, and we look forward to hearing much more from you.
Thank you.
Straight ahead on Around Your Army, Montgomery Gentry stops by Fort Benning.
My name's Andy McDonald. I ride this useless wooden toy for a living. It's hard. I've been doing it for 13 years. I'm still lame. I do a trick called a 540. It took me a good 6 years to learn. There's a whole generation of skateboarders out there that are just as talented athletically as any basketball or football player. It takes somebody that's not going to be afraid to fall down a lot, because you definitely will fall down. You're not a failure until you refuse to get back up. Drugs are only going to hinder what I'm trying to do. That right there is my idea of getting high.
There's something about you, baby. I got you looking at me, I'm gonna call you bluff. There's something about you.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. It takes a man to be a dad.
You may recognize this song. It's by the popular country duo Montgomery Gentry, who recently stopped by Fort Benning for a little FaceTime with the soldiers. Eddie Montgomery and Troy Gentry wrapped up the last leg of their tour this month before stopping by our installation, and literally hundreds turned out for the autograph signing, and the duo made sure to sign every last one.
We're down here in Columbus visiting our military folk. Eddie and I have always been big supporters of our military and everything else, and any opportunity we can get by to say hello to the men and women who keep us free and serve for our country and give us our freedom to get up and play music, we're about it and ready to shake a hand in a heartbeat.
Always, ever since we went to Iraq, man, it's been unbelievable. Of course, we've always supported them when anything they need from us, man, they got, we got them over here. We got their back over here.
Since breaking onto the charts in 1999 with Hillbilly Shoes, Montgomery Gentry has maintained a rebellious, party-hardy swagger. Rock-edged anthems and something to be proud of earned them comparisons to Leonard Skinner. And finally, with the holiday season heading into full swing, there's a lot to see and do, especially when it comes to fun holiday traditions. For some families, it's a tradition to go see the Fantasy and Lights at Callaway Gardens in nearby Pine Mountain, Georgia, and we got the chance to preview them.
Well, Callaway Gardens in the wintertime is a wonderful time to visit. Number one, compared to summer, you don't have to deal with the heat and humidity, number one. But also, people can appreciate the winter garden. You may see things that are more in berries than in leaves. You can appreciate the architecture of trees with the leaves missing. Different animals that you may not see in the summertime will be out. So it is a wonderful, cooler, different kind of interesting time to visit Callaway Gardens.
Callaway Gardens blossoms in a whole new way with 8 million colors lighting up the evening sky.
And Fantasy and Lights was created 15 years ago, which is a holiday light and sound spectacular. It's a drive-through either in your personal vehicle or on the Jolly Trolley. And when you go through, you see scenes that have been created with lights, almost as an artist uses a paintbrush and paints. There are actually different scenes, and each one has a special theme and special music. When you also come, you get to go to the Christmas Village, and that is a 22,000 square foot heated is the key word, heated space that you can go and warm up after you've enjoyed the lights or before or after you enjoy the lights. You can see Santa each evening up until Christmas. There's lots of opportunities to buy gifts, activities for children to do, opportunities to eat, and we have a lot of specialty items.
Even I couldn't resist making a purchase. And speaking of purchase, Callaway offers something special just for Fort Benning soldiers.
Active duty Fort Benning soldiers receive free admission to Callaway Gardens, as well as a whole host of discounts on bike rentals, on overnight accommodations, on golf, lots of different programs. If they are deployed, that benefit transfers to the spouse. Part of the reason that Callaway Gardens is so committed to helping our Fort Benning soldiers and other soldiers is that Bo Callaway, who is our chairman emeritus, was actually Secretary of the Army during the Nixon and Ford administration. So that's one reason, but also just because these are the people who protect our privileges, and Callaway Gardens is just a great place for soldiers to reconnect with their family and themselves.
And remember, all Fort Benning active duty soldiers receive free admission to Callaway Gardens. And if you're the spouse of a deployed soldier, the free admission benefit transfers directly to you. That's it for this edition of Around Your Army. I'm Cynthia Salinas from the entire Fort Benning Public Affairs Office. Thanks for watching. And if you have questions or comments, email us at bnn.pao@benning.army.mil.